I'm here today with Scott Wadzinski, our fire chief, and so Scott, tell me what's going to be happening today.
So we'll actually start the day off we have several demonstrations throughout the stations. This is some of the old equipment, and out back we'll have a few cars to cut apart. There's going to be some live fire demonstration. They're going to show you how sprinklers work.
Good.
And then they'll show you what happens with a fire when there is no sprinkler. So the fire is a little bit bigger. Out in the old police station, you'll see there's a smoke training drill. They have smoke running right now, so you can actually see some smoke coming from the building. And they'll put individuals like yourself in gear and on air, and we'll let you crawl around in the fake smoke. So that you can actually see and feel what the environment is like when we have to go inside of a limited vision atmosphere.
Yeah. That's a good thing really good thing to find out too, so we can appreciate more what you do, although we do appreciate it a whole bunch, believe me.
Thank you.
But I understand there's a couple of guests too, aren't there, like maybe Smokey?
Smokey Bear should be arriving, I think around 10:30.
Okay.
It's his 75th birthday this year.
Really?
So it's an anniversary year. We also have Sparky, the dog, who will be making a few guest appearances throughout the morning. Other than that,
you have, do you have a bouncing house or something like that?
There's a bouncy house fire engine out there for kids of all ages. That should be fun, and it's actually staked to the ground so it won't blow away.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I knew it would be safe here, you know. So wonderful. So we're looking forward to it, and we're going to take some time, wander around, check all these things out, and show our audience what a great day this is going to be.
Excellent.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here today with Tom Clancy, the Deputy Chief of the Littleton Fire Department, and we're going to have a great day, I know, but tell us really what I want to know is about these items, these carts right here, because, you know, I know that there's a good story for it.
Oh, there's always a story at the fire station, and it is. It's going to be a fabulous day for our open house today. And so what we have here are a couple of antique pieces of fire equipment. On my left is the original fire truck for the town of Littleton, even though, you know, there's no motor on it. So in 1912, the town, after suffering a devastating fire in the depot area, where they had to have a piece of fire equipment put on a train and brought here from air, the town fathers decided to form a fire department. So the Littleton Fire Department is 102 years old now, so to speak, and this was the first piece of fire equipment that the town ever purchased, and it's called a hose cart. It was pulled, it had hoses that were connected to the rudimentary fire hydrant system at the time, and that was the original firefighting, which has been restored, and it's kept here at the fire station. And with the hope that when our new fire station is built here in the not-too-distant future, there'll be a place in the station where that's put on display and preserved for the next 100 years.
Well, that'd be great, like a great big picture window or something.
Yeah.
They could sit it right in there and everybody could see it as they go by, right?
As you walk in, it might be on display depending on how the building is designed when that time comes. So,
great.
And on your right here, what we have is another member of the department, Jim Ray. This is his personal, he collects antique fire trucks, or antique fire pieces. So this is a ladder cart from 1890 that was used by Concord, New Hampshire. It was in service until 1925 when it was replaced by mechanized ladder truck, which that's about the 1920s as vehicles, they replaced the horse-drawn carriage, and so Jim keeps these at his house, and he's got a couple of different pieces, and so this has a variety of different ladders. Obviously, in the early 1900s, the buildings weren't as tall, so you could get away with your ladders here, but they're made of wood, which is pretty interesting. All our ladders now are primarily aluminum, except for the city of San Francisco still runs wood ladders, has their own shop where they manufacture them and repair them. And there, as far as I think they are the only municipality in the country that still uses wooden ladders. So just the fire service is full of tradition, and even faced with overwhelming evidence that it's not a good idea, sometimes we continue to do those things because that's how we roll in the fire service. But this is so exciting you're here today for our open house, and I hope that lots of people come today and see all the different things and the members and get to know everybody and see all the different equipment we have here, and we couldn't ask for a better day.
You couldn't, and I'm sure that you'll have a big crowd, and especially because, well, who doesn't want to visit a fire station?
Well, I'm hoping you and Kirby are going to go into the bouncy house. I mean, let's face it. You just have to take your shoes off, please. But who doesn't want to go into a bouncy house shaped like a fire truck?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
I think I'll go. I don't know yet, but I think I might. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tom, and we'll be talking to you again during the day, I'm sure.
Look forward to it.
So I want all the kids, in particular, to listen for the smoke detector. And what do you do when the smoke detector sounds?
Running, call 911.
Run, but where are we running? Where do you want to run? Outside the house. Do you wait for mom and dad? No. Where do you go to when you get outside your house? So everyone should have rehearsed getting out of their house and have a meeting place, right? Like maybe by the mailbox, right? And so that way there, mom and dad will come out and find you. Don't wait for mom and dad, all right? So I want you to notice from the time the smoke detector goes off, what the room looks like, right? So the parents, look at the difference between the smoke and the fire, and think about how long you have. And then once this fire gets going, how quickly it builds, okay? The other thing I want you to notice is we only have 3 walls in this room, okay? So look what happens to the smoke as the fire starts to build. And kids, if the room is on fire, where do we want to go? Do we want to be standing up and walking out, or do we want to be on our hands and knees crawling out? Hands and knees crawling out. Why is that, anyone? I'm sure you do. Why? Because you don't want to get fired, because here's why. At the top of the room, it's going to be about 1,300 degrees. In the bottom of the room, it'll probably only be about 200 or 300 degrees, okay? So it's the superheated air that really causes the damage. So when you're down low on the ground and crawling out, you have a chance to get out of the room, okay? So I'm telling you all this now because this fire really can go pretty quick. So I will try and talk over the fire as we get going. So I want you to listen for the smoke detector. I want you to watch the smoke. And then I want you to see how fast the fire builds before they go in. All right? We're good? Go. The smoke detector didn't go off. Kind of ruins the whole smoke detector story. So for the adults, now you know why you test your smoke detectors. I'm sure. Well, over there it won't. All right, look at how fast it's building. Look at the smoke. It went up to the ceiling. Now it's rolling out because we don't have a wall there. But look at how fast that fire moves across that. So you can start to feel the heat out here. So inside that room at the ceiling, like I said, it's about 1,300, 1,500 degrees. And what happens, the reason it burns so quick is because everything in the room gets heated up and it all burns simultaneously. You start to see now the fire burning in the smoke because particles of the materials are actually burning up in the air. So notice where Where are the firefighters putting the water, kids? Are they putting it down low or up high? Up high. Parents, why do you think we're putting it up high? Well, you're not really a parent, but go ahead. Because what? That's where the heat is. So what happens is the water expands into steam, and it actually extinguishes the fire much more quickly than by us going right at the fire. So afterwards, we'll go through and pull it apart and put the water right on the fire. But otherwise, we do what's called an indirect attack and go up into the ceiling and cool down that air up there. So now the firefighters are doing what's called overhaul. So when we ever have a fire, we want to make sure that we get it all put out. So we pull the ceiling. So if you ever have a fire, even a small one in your house, right? Like if your house gets hit by lightning and there's a fire in the wall, we actually come in and we pull the whole wall out because you never know what's burning inside the wall. So we would pull all of this stuff out and check to see. So we will always pull the ceilings, we'll cut open floors just to make sure we don't have fire hiding. Other questions? Yes?
So, this is the fire alarm that was just in that little fire there,
The
huh?
remains of the smoke detector. It fell out of its hold, out of its carrier in the ceiling. But that's the importance, and we try to stress with the importance of changing the batteries, making sure your detectors are working, test them monthly. We try to stress that when we go to the schools. We teach the kids, to have their parents do fire drills just like they do at home when they do like they do at school.
Sure.
They do fire drills 3 times a year at school, so we want to make sure that they're practicing good fire safety at home too, with mom and dad and the guardians, grandparents, and things like that. So the importance of a good working detector, you can avoid a tragedy. You see all over the news how often detectors are not working in fire tragedies, and the detectors that are working properly help to avoid a tragedy. So that's what we're trying to stress here. And then getting the detectors in good working order, making sure they're changed every. They usually go good for about 7 years, and then the sensors are always running. This is a combination carbon monoxide and smoke detector, so with the sensors always running, their life expectancy is about 7 years. That's why it's really important to change the batteries every year, making sure that you test them all the time, because if you have a bad detector, you can get that changed out really quickly.
Right, right. Do you suggest having one in every part of the house, like upstairs, downstairs, basement?
Depending on the age of the home, the minimum requirement is 1 per floor, based on the age. The older houses, that's the code, is 1 per floor, and then within 10 feet of the bedrooms. So you need to have the coverage. With the new construction, all the new building codes have changed. So there's 1 in every bedroom. They're hardwired with battery backup and things like that. So at the very minimum, protection is a good combination smoke detector and CO detector that's a battery operated. So 1 per living space of the floor is the absolute minimum that you need. So.
Oh, well, good. And this proved it right here that we.
This is proof. I mean, they work. They said they do save lives, so that's a good thing.
All right. So everybody out there, make sure that you have the smoke detector and that it's working. Check your batteries. I'm here right now with the president and the vice president and a member of the Littleton Explorers, and I want to talk to them about, joining up and why. And so give us your names and tell us about yourself.
My name is Mike Higley. I'm from Tingsboro originally, but I found the post, so I've been here for about 1.5 years now. And it's just a good place for kids our age to get the experience for firefighting before we can actually go on in careers in life.
Oh, so are you planning to be a firefighter eventually? I mean, a firefighter, not an explorer.
Well, yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully that's how it happens in the future.
Oh, good, okay. And now the vice president, and you are?
I'm Lexi Rock. My parents have always worked here since I can remember. I started in February when I turned 14. And yeah, it's great being here. You can really learn the techniques of being a firefighter while not going on calls and learning what to do.
Well, great. That is a good thing for you to do, too, and I thank you. Right. So now I am going on to member here, and I'm going to hand you the microphone because you know what to do with it, and tell who you are and why you're a member.
So I'm Ryan Vallon. I'm part of Littleton Fire Explorers, and I also do the broadcast for football and hockey for the television station. I had to say it. I'm a member because I've always wanted to be a firefighter, and broadcasting is my number one, but I've always said that firefighting is my number 1.2, as I want to do a hockey team, professional hopefully, and what I want to do in the off-season, I want to be a firefighter. I want to help people, save some lives, and make sure buildings don't fall down.
And you'd also like to have other young people probably involved, right?
Right.
Good, good. Okay, well, thank you. And let's have a wonderful day today because it is so beautiful, and I know you're going to have a big crowd. Look at the faces on these kids, it's so cute. I didn't want to be in space.
It's auto extrication, right? And what do we use to? What's that famous term we use for equipment that cuts open cars? What is it? What do you call it? In between pizza. What is it? Bingo! Circle gets a square. Excellent. You just passed the MCAT. I'm telling you right there. So we have these tools. They're called jaws of life, which is like a Q-tip. They're hydraulic tools. They're made by different manufacturers. But we have a couple of different ones here. We have these big ones here. These are called rams. And what we use these for is pushing the car apart. We're trying to support it. We also have spreaders and cutters. Big cutters. So what we're going to show you today is we're going to simulate an accident where this vehicle's hit a tree. There's two young people inside and they weren't wearing their seatbelts. That's a really bad joke, right, Ryan? Right? So they don't have their seatbelts on, and many times when we come across an accident, there's always a different way to get people out of the car. So what we're going to do today is we're not going to have access through the two front doors. We're going to have to take them out the back. So the firefighters are going to show you ways that we take doors off, and in this case, we're going to remove that hatch door, and we're going to bring them out the back. Any questions?
sedan, you pop the 4 doors off, yeah, so they're in there. Here, this is a little different. This, in the age of this vehicle, you probably don't see thing with airbags. If an airbag doesn't deploy, it's still good to go. So, if you have a sudden collision, and no airbag deployment, two things. All right, it hasn't deployed yet, but somebody stole them on you. You don't have any in your car because they need to go. We look at it. They used to always cut the battery cables. They still do. Newer cars have cheap on there. It's like sorry. They have to use them. And they're excellent tools. If you think about how many vehicles there are and where they all put their airbags, we couldn't have a big one. So nothing. We could pull up and say, 2013 Honda Odyssey has airbag here, here, and there. Because in the middle of the road, you set the right on fire. And that's why when anyone's experiencing airbag, you have like a burn. That's from that accelerant that airbag is a fraction of a second. So, look at that. We're getting close. Then we can have pizza. It's fine. If you want to get this over with, you come back and sit it off my car. That's the idea of how good we get it. So, in this instance, this patient is non-ambulatory. We're going to slide the patient onto that dashboard and then bring them out. We'll put straps on them, bring them over, put it on the patient, and stick with the light sticker to it, slide it away, and transport it to the hospital. So each of you has one up on the scene. See, you don't get so many people, right? And so that's a great job by them. Let's give the boys a round of applause. They did a great job. We didn't miss much.
They don't do it anymore. It's too late. That's too late. Watch out, Brandon.
You all mind if I asked you a few questions about being in there? Okay. Hello there. How are you today?
What are you doing?
Well, I have a microphone and I'm going to be talking to that camera over there, to your mom and dad, and asking them a few questions about what it was like to be inside the smoke-filled building. So, if I could have your names.
I'm Fred.
Jessica?
Okay, and so tell me, you got all suited up
Yep.
beautifully, and was it heavy?
Really heavy.
Oh, okay.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah? How did it feel going through there?
It was dark and difficult to breathe with the mask and the helmet on. Difficult to see because it's hard to move around.
Hard to fit through things. We had to crawl through a tunnel to get out of there, and I didn't know if that helmet was going to make it.
Yeah. Basically slither on the ground to get out. But yeah.
So it actually it gave you an idea of how our firemen feel when they're going through things. Of course, they are trained, and you're a little more nervous because you're not. But
Well, the
still,
building wasn't actually on fire.
So it wasn't hot. I think that helped too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, I think you were pretty brave to do it, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, baby. Henry.
Okay, I'm looking at this ladder on the truck, and it's going pretty high. So let's talk about that.
All right. Well, Barbara and I were just discussing the fact that on a beautiful, clear day like we have today, or a sunny day like today, our ladder truck's 110 feet long, plus your 10 feet to get up to the platform. So today, if you climb that ladder, you could probably see MCI Shirley. You'd get out to that far. But you can. We were just discussing how when you climb it in a non-emergency situation and clouds are moving, it can give you a certain sensation because it makes it feel like it's tipping over. And when you get to the top, it tends to move a little bit too. So that's what we're discussing, how there is a difference when you have adrenaline and you're going somewhere versus, hey, let's climb the ladder today. But everyone has their threshold as far as going high, you know, climbing things or not climbing things. But
Yeah.
it is a very stable platform to work off of. Ladder trucks this is ladder constructed of steel. You can also get ladder trucks that are constructed of aluminum. And they're not quite as stable as this. They tend to move more, but all told, as long as you have faith in hydraulics, you're fine. You should be good to go.
Oh yeah, well, I'd have to have faith in me, and I'd get up like 3 steps, and all of a sudden I'd get that acrophobia.
Yeah. Well, so anytime a firefighter climbs a ladder, he's wearing his helmet, and we also have belts that are stored on the trucks.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you get up there, you clip in.
Oh.
So it's not just, hey, up you go, you want to climb the ladder. Generally, we have certain standard operating guidelines that you must have your helmet on, gloves, and you also have to wear a ladder belt. Anytime you climb up onto the turntable, you must have a ladder belt on. So there are safety precautions with that.
Good.
But our ladder's approaching 30 years old right now, so it's due for replacement
Yeah.
at some point in the near future. But it's a very useful tool in a fire ground.
Well, I imagine that it is, and I would want like 2 or 3 belts on me, I think. I'm looking up there. I'd like to reach the flag, but ain't gonna happen.
Once Littleton Cable TV can get into that polling, you know, we could set a polling up. Who wants to see Barbara climb the ladder truck, you know, and people can respond. I don't know.
You'd have to pay me the big
They
bucks
do it all
for
the
that.
time on football, you know. What do you think? I don't know. We could try that. Kirby, what do you think? Should we get a poll going? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll just stand here and look at you go up there, or
You're
somebody
not gonna see me go up either. Oh no.
Okay. Well,
Today anyway.
it certainly makes our flag look beautiful up there, though.
It's a beautiful flag. It's a great day. I mean, it's just a spectacular view to look up at the blue sky.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Okay, well, we'll just go moving on.
All right.
Thanks. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, this has been a good day.
It has.
And you've had a lot of people, and the kids, oh my gosh, they are really enjoying all
The
this,
kids have
aren't
been
they?
having a ball. They've
Yeah.
had a few visitors. They've had Smokey Bear and Sparky have made several appearances.
Right, and they were having great fun in that fire truck jumping house there.
The bouncy house has been great.
Yeah,
the
you
bouncy
can-
house is definitely one of the highlights for the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
That and the little house where you squirt the
water-
fire
yeah,
out in the
yeah.
windows.
That
That's
was
been
great.
That's been great.
So anyway, tell us a little bit more about this beautiful picture here, and then we are going to leave you and let you have some more fun here, and hope that everybody enjoys what they saw today.
All right, well, excellent. This is the conceptual design of our new fire station, which the Board of Selectmen has voted to keep on site at 20 Foster Street. It's basically utilizing the existing fire station, and it has several additions put onto it. A new training room. It has a 4-bay garage, which you could see here, which would be facing Fay Park. This building will accommodate all of our existing apparatus. It will also accommodate the full-time 24-hour coverage of the fire station. This building also incorporates a training building into the back, where we have our Monday night, we could have our Monday night training sessions. This will bring us into the next 40 to 50 years, and this should service the town well.
Great. So you're talking almost up to the 350th anniversary. Then we can start talking again.
If I'm around.
Well, in spirit, we'll be here.
There you go.
Okay, well, enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the great day.
Thanks for coming.
We'll see y'all later.
Take care.